Hey everybody, my name is Ayla King. I am the broker of Buyers Real Estate. Thank you so much for joining us in today's class. People will be popping in, so as you come into the webinar, please feel free to ask questions in the chat. So our brokerage, Buyers Real Estate, has served home buyers and investors locally for over 25 years. Our focus has been on income properties, both buying, selling, and holding. And at the foundation of every successful real estate portfolio is a strong understanding of municipal, state, and federal laws. Setting up your business to be both in compliance and also be a reliable landlord to tenants sets you up for success, and additionally can prevent costly time in court and loss of rent. So, joining us today is attorney Brian Riekkolla. Brian is a partner at North Star Law Group. Brian focuses on various facets of law that revolve around business litigation, landlord protection, probate litigation, contract drafting, and intellectual property. Brian has been a wealth of knowledge to myself and many investors locally for many years. Perhaps my favorite part of Brian's bio, he was imported to Alaska by his wife, Chelsea, and each year he gets closer to sourdough status. So without further ado, Brian,
Where did that come from? Did I send you that?
that's your bio on North Star Law Group.
Oh man, that's a good one. I think I had help
Really
with that.
good.
Okay. Good afternoon and good evening, everybody. As people kind of walk in, I look forward to seeing questions pop up. I will go through those in a moment, but for the purposes of the recording and for the purpose of the people who are already here, I'm going to go through a standard attorney disclaimer and disclosure. And so I'm going to read from a little writing that I've presented earlier today. And this is that the information provided in this presentation is for general education purposes only. It's not intended as legal advice, nor does it create an attorney-client relationship. I am not your attorney of record just by the fact that you've attended a class in which I've been a speaker. Laws and regulations might change, and the application of the law depends on the specific facts and circumstances of each individual case. Anybody who's attending should consult with a qualified Alaskan attorney regarding their particular situation before taking any legal advice or relying on any information I provide today. One of the ways in which I often describe how dramatically facts can change is best described using a different area of law, which is that if I was to speak to someone about a probate situation or probate litigation, and then a few days later, that person finds out that there's a child of the deceased that nobody knew about until that day. Obviously, everything that I said 2 days prior to that meeting or to them finding out would dramatically change. Things can happen like that in every area of law, including landlord tenant. And so just because I might be able to provide a very quick answer today doesn't mean that I have the full set of facts necessary to give you a complete and comprehensive answer. Please do not rely on my answers today as legal representation or advice. And if you'd like to, you can always set up a meeting with me to discuss further or with any other attorney who's licensed in Alaska. Okay, that's the disclosure disclaimer. So today I've got a list of topics and an idea of what we're going to talk about. We've got a handful of attendees, and I'd like to open it up so that anybody on the attendees list who wants to can jump in and maybe raise their hand, or they can otherwise participate. I'm not quite sure of the rules that we've set up this meeting as, but if there are any particular questions, whatever the mechanism is to ask a question, feel free to participate in that process. I do not mind interrupting my flow to go through and answer people's specific questions. If there's anything that's very particular, or you've asked a very complicated question, I might answer only a piece of it and then recommend that you have a further discussion with another attorney or with myself. But generally, I'll answer the bit that I can, and then we'll go from there.